Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Stephen with Trace Digital Forensics. In our last video, I talked a little bit about preserving evidence, and during that video, I mentioned recovering deleted files. And so I wanted to talk for a couple of minutes about what happens when you create and delete a file. I'm going to try and keep it pretty basic. So the first thing we need to understand is that for any computer storage device, whether it's a thumb drive, a hard drive inside the computer, or even the storage inside your phone, they all have a file system. And the file system is just the way that we lay out the storage on that drive so that we can store files. And simplifying a little bit, there are two main parts to the file system. Number one, we have a file table, which is basically a table of contents. It says where the files are, what they're called, and it enables us to find them, right? Just like a book. And then we have the storage. So that's the actual contents of the drive. And so when you create a file, it has a file table entry. It says, hey, this is report.xls. And then you actually store the data somewhere else. So when we delete a file, we don't delete the entry and we don't delete the storage. They're both still out there in most cases. And instead what happens is we go into the file table and we flag the entry that it's no longer needed. And then as we create new files, that entry is available to be reused. So when we're trying to do data recovery, the best situation is that entry has been flagged but not reused, and the actual storage has not been reused. Because in that case, we're basically going to recover the file. We're going to be able to get everything back. If the file table entry has been overwritten, it's still possible to recover the data, but it's more difficult and our chances of success go down. And so the first problem when we delete that entry is we don't know where the data is, right? We don't know where it starts, and we don't know, often a large file will get broken up into multiple pieces. So even if we find the beginning of the file, we don't know where the end of it is. Because it's not all in one piece. And so as we keep reading, we assume for data recovery purposes, the file's in one contiguous piece, but that's often not true. And so you'll end up with a video clip that you've recovered, but maybe it was originally a 5-minute video, and instead you get back like 30 seconds, and that's all you can play. And you may not be able to recover the rest of that video at all. Or you'll end up with a picture, and top of the picture looks fine, right? You know, everything up here is okay, and the rest of this is just garbage. You can't read it. You can't tell what it is. It's just pixelated nonsense. And what's happened is that file was probably fragmented, and you didn't find the last piece of it, or it was partially overwritten. The worst case for data recovery is that not only is the entry gone, but the contents have been overwritten as well. You've downloaded additional videos or created new files or whatever, and you've used up the space that those previous files had used, and now the data is completely unrecoverable. And so we talked in the preservation video about not using the computer, don't do anything else on it, and that's why. If you've deleted something that you need, whether it's just for data recovery, you deleted some files you still needed for work, or it's a forensic thing where you're trying to recover evidence, the sooner you can get it to a data recovery person, the better your odds are of getting everything back, because those file table entries are potentially still there, and the storage hasn't been overwritten yet, so it's potentially still got its original contents, and we can try to recover it. If the entries have been overwritten, odds go down, especially for large files like videos. And once the original storage has been overwritten, anything that's been overwritten is completely gone. Now, in some cases, you may be able to find part of a file. And it really depends on the format. With things like video, if you're missing the beginning of the video, your chances of recovering it are probably zero. For some other document types, you may be able to actually recover pieces of it, but your odds are not good. So the sooner you get it to your recovery people or your forensic people, the better off you are. If you have any questions about deleted files or file recovery, just want to understand it a little better, shoot me an email. It'll be down in the description. And other than that, y'all have a good day.